people who know you, were they surprised that this was an area you went into with such enthusiasm and have stayed in? I don't mean the television, but I mean criminal behavior, crime stories, law, all of
Just mirroring the previous career path. No, I've always liked mysteries. I mean, I started reading Sherlock Holmes when I was 8, 9, so I wasn't surprised.
Well, I read it too when I was 8 years old, but it didn't lead to the same thing.
Well, it sort of did.
But clearly the material keeps you interested, Sam, as an actor.
Yes, it does. And the way it gets cooked is very interesting too.
Well, I think it was a great move once you embrace it. I think that the sort of natural rhythms of life taking over and you taking over the top job. But that was an interesting
I have never
series
done
of
anything smart except by backing into it. So I really have you two guys to thank for that conversation we had in I forget what hotel room.
But it was a huge
this.
leap of faith, and it worked. Thank God. But it was, it wasn't that big a gamble. But I know it was
Good thing
interesting.
too, because I would have been really grumpy tonight.
Yeah. Yes, the former DA.
But it seemed, now to say, well, it's so surprising that this became one of the biggest hits on television. Now, because it is one, but you were somewhat surprised in the beginning. Yes?
No, nobody thought it was going to get past 13 because the Life Choice, the first abortion show, literally almost buried us because in 1990 there were $900,000 in advertising pullouts, which meant that there were no advertisers. It was all promos and PSAs, and needless to say, this was not the sales department's favorite show. It was number 77 the first year, I think, in the Nielsen's.
So what kept it on? Because ordinarily,
Brandon Tartikoff.
Okay.
Brandon Tartikoff was the reason the show stayed on and was given room to breathe, literally.
Yeah. But even all through the years, with all the controversy and the offensive issues or whatever, that you've had the support of the network.
Oh yeah, no, the network has been, well, let's put it this way, the bulk of the time incredibly supportive, and in the normal course of all human relationships, there have been ups and downs, but the last several years have been sort of a blissful holiday because the show's been doing well and the writing has been superb and everybody has agreed, oh, it's not an old show, which is refreshing.
Well, Dick is being modest. I think the main reason the show has been on is that Dick doesn't know how to take no for an answer.
Well,
and he's a rabid defender of his real estate. And I think,
Yes, I've noticed that about him, But it's also because the actors, you keep it fresh. I mean, the writing is there, but you also.
Well, it's also an incredible ensemble of actors.
Yeah.
And when you look back at who the 28 cast members who have been on the show, that there are virtually no clunkers, and that's truly a miracle. Right. I mean, we've been blessed by.
It's a who's who list,
well,
as you said.
It's really a great group of regulars.
So who's been your favorite or your least favorite?
Let's go down the list of least favorites.
Okay.
Let's make some enemies tonight.
Okay. Each one of the guys that I worked with, I love them for who they are specifically. And so I have relationships with all of them. I still talk to them all, and so it's hard for me to say. I would say I was brought into the show with Jerry. So he was like Jerry and Chris were the first two cops I worked with. So they just have my heart because it was my first time working with them, you know, as Lieutenant Van Buren. And then, you know, it goes on. Ben Bratt, because he's like eye candy. You know, Dennis Farina, because he's just like the coolest guy in the world. You know, it just goes on. Jesse Martin is like my little brother. You know, I just have all these different relationships with everyone. Angie, I'm still in touch with Carrie Lowell. What I found is that each person that came on, they came into a family, and we all get along very well. And so they couldn't help but feel it. If anybody came in with any kind of diva attitude, it was gone quickly. You know, because I'd like...
Because you'd shape them up.
Yeah, come on now.
Stephen Hill.
Favorite or least favorite?
The best actor.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The most amazing actor.
The only actor in my entire career who consistently came up and said, Dick, I don't need to say all these lines.
Yeah, you always trying to get stuff cut.
Tried to get you to cut his...
Cut lines, cut words, cut
scenes.
syllables. That's how he would work.
He would call you.
Yeah.
You used to tell me he would
Yeah.
call you for...
Too many lines, okay. But
Too many
too many
syllables.
words, and too many syllables. Too many notes, too many letters.
And then there was that former politician you had for a while,
Yeah.
Fred Thompson.
Fred is a terrific guy. He's just one of those people who is enormously entertaining, and his politics are interesting.
Entertaining.
Very, very interesting.
Is that going to be the I love these one-line descriptions. We
Well,
could almost do a
it's-
book, a Law and Order book of the
No,
actors who...
well, it's kind of like
eye
us, you know.
candy, interesting politics.